It's February 21st, 2021. It's President's Day. I'm not lost. I'm just gray on gray. This is two shades of gray. At the moment. So, I was watching this commercial and it says that temporarily they've moved the Cheerio from a circle to a heart. I said, oh my God, Linda. I said, that is the most impressive person in the world with the most amount of power. They just call the factory and they say, I have to send a message. I needed to go from a circle to a heart immediately. No questions. Just do it. At General Mills. So Linda says to me, it wasn't one person, Nicole. It was a focus group. I go, a focus group? I said, imagine that, Linda. I said, somewhere in the world, they have participants that don't have ADD. It's a strange world. That's American humor, by the way, and divine comedy.
News, America. Back for a limited time, we've changed the shape of Honey Nut Cheerios because we want people to know that they're delicious and can help lower cholesterol. Heart healthy. Get it? A heart.
This was my children's favorite snack growing up. It wasn't a cereal for us. We didn't add milk, but it was a favorite, like, on-the-go snack.
Can you believe they had one in my size? Better skin from your butt.
Now, this commercial really amuses me about the wild, wild west.
Making friends again, Billy?
I like to keep my enemies close.
Guys, excuse me. I didn't quite get that. I'm hard of hearing.
Oh, hey, don't forget about the tense music, too.
What'd you say, Tim?
I'd say suspenseful.
Aren't they the same thing?
Can we move on, guys? Please.
Alexa, turn on the subtitles. And dim the lights. Okay, dimming the lights.
Now, I noticed that she has a smart Alexa. My Alexa doesn't perform in the same manner that her Alexa does. Mine, I speak to it and I have to know the music and what to ask for. Sometimes she complies. Sometimes she says there's other situations going on, like I have to pay for something or it's not available or whatever. But my Alexa doesn't know how to turn the lights on and off and does not know how to turn subtitles on to the equipment in the teleportation or the television. She spoke to her Alexa and it did all these fancy bells and whistles. Mine doesn't know how to do that. She hasn't learned it yet, and I don't know who's here to teach her. Just saying. Now this is interesting. Her name is Kat. I don't know her last name. It's whatever it is. Now she has on what caught my eye this morning, a very whitewash makeup with very interesting whatever. I think back in the day with the big white wigs, it was an in vogue thing. Again, I don't have access to makeup artists or it's a word. It sounds like it's cosmetology instead of it's cosmic or no, it's not cosmic. It's cosmetic. It's, again, it is the dirty English word and what they've associated in this confusing whatever. But anyway, so she's got that look where in a movie somewhere, in someone's ballroom of like old world, vintage, whatever, where they wear big white wigs, she's got the whatever makeup on, and she tells this story, which I thought was very apropos, I suppose, about raccoons just digging through garbage.
Well, your grandfather's hot then. The last time we were together, you were growing a garden. How is the garden?
Well, the garden is garbage. It was great last year, and then I got victimized by a pack of raccoons. There were 6 raccoons because I have my cameras, and I was like, what is going on? Because I would go outside in the morning to water my garden, and there would just be things, plants all over the place, like holes, dirt everywhere. I was like, what happened in here? It looked like a human being came and like dug everything out. And I looked at my cameras, and it was 6 huge raccoons flying across the lawn, going to the beds, and just like, they didn't even eat the vegetables. That was the worst part.
They just like ransacked it for pleasure?
Yeah, I don't know what their end game is, and I'm still trying to figure it out. They just.
See, now what's funny is she uses the word end game with the raccoons in this like nonchalant story, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Just like threw away all these beautiful organic hand grown vegetables, and they just didn't eat them, and I'm assuming they buried some valuables or something in there.
Well, you tell those raccoons that they better stay away from your garden, or I'm going to come and kick their you-know-whats.
Well, I will, and I'm sure they will listen to me. But I am sprouting sprouts right now. I am doing seedlings. I am not giving up. I will prevail.
Don't give up. Don't give up. And maybe a little fencing.
Oh, you think I haven't thought of fencing? I put in the beds around the edges, and I covered it in like sheets and like bird wires. They ripped it all out. They're very strong.
Now, I would love to ask you, which is so crazy. This is the third time, before we get to Dollface, this is the third time we've done this show together, and I never talked to you about doing Sex in the City.
Oh my God.
That's where I stop listening because I'm not really interested. Hang on, there's something on The View this morning that was also incredibly important.
View's historic season 25 continues right now. Executive Egos. As America honors President's Day, which commanders-in-chief took the lead as the most narcissistic presidents to hold office? And did modern politics...
I have to be honest, that word narcissistic, I'm really not comfortable with humans using it. I'm not. I think they put themselves in presidential shoes and then go back to their own shoes, and then it's a really confusing tap dance, and I think they get the words all wrong.
Politics take things to another level. Plus, West Side Story star Ariana...
Yeah, I'm not going that far.
We're gonna get things started. Hey, hello, and welcome to The View. Today is President's Day, but not everybody is on board with it. There's an op-ed calling to take it off the calendar, claiming that most people aren't even sure what they're celebrating.
My particular and very specific was about a different day that is on a January calendar, not February calendar.
Used to honor Presidents Washington and Lincoln, but it expanded to all presidents depending on which state you're in. So listen, when I was a kid, it was a holiday. Lincoln's birthday was a holiday. Washington's birthday was a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
You already have the Lincoln Dilemma holiday, and then you have the Washington's holiday. Why do you need a January Puppet King holiday? Gets confusing to the Mount Rushmore crew.
Shut up. Let people have their holiday. Just leave it alone. See, y'all want to pick at everything. Leave the holidays alone. So what do you all think about all that?
I think it's a good day to buy a mattress.
There you are.
And also, maybe toiletries.
Is that to keep horizontal lines incongruence, not to get messed up with a vertical, citations, voting. Just curious.
Now that we have this
At
president.
Moon Kingdom.
It flushes
Good
documents.
place to get a bowl of toilet paper. That would be like, oh, it's Donald Trump Day. Let's buy a toilet.
I like that.
I don't remember what it was when we were growing up. Was it a specific?
I thought it was
one-
Washington.
No, I
had
think
two.
when
We
you
had
were
different
growing up,
days.
we used to have, when Joy and I were little,
Right.
we had two separate days. We had
I have it on a
Washington
card. And we got 2 days off.
Yeah, and then they said, oh, that's too many days that the
together.
kids have off from school. Let's smush it together.
Yeah.
Whose idea was it? It's a dumb one.
It was on February 21st, 1971, President Nixon issued a proclamation naming the holiday President's Day.
Punk.
Yeah, but why do you include some of these losers like Trump and Nixon, for example, or this guy Johnson who came out?
I don't
Lincoln?
include them.
Yeah, but they are included.
They're all
President's
included
Day.
now.
They're not
We're
all
supposed to
great. In my
celebrate them.
President's Day only includes George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. Everybody else is
In
on
your
their own.
mind.
But not in everyone else's. April Fool's Day could be for Trump. I'm with Abraham Lincoln and George Washington. That's all I got.
Well, it is a federal holiday. I'm sort of surprised
Yes.
states don't even celebrate it.
They don't.
No, some states are allowed not to celebrate President's Day.
It would be funny state to say to see what everyone else calls it, because you got a lot to pick from these days.
Yes,
and
you
you can
do.
honor whoever you want out of the presidents,
Right.
minus Trump for joy.
Maybe just so it's on Mount Rushmore, just that patch. But listen, we've got what I think 11 federal holidays during the year,
Yeah.
and I think you can say this almost about any of them, right? Whether it's Memorial Day or Veterans Day or President's Day, that a lot of people forget the real meaning and the real
Yes.
celebration of it. I think.
So I'm not the only one. I know I wasn't taught what they mean. There's no, like, if there's a boating Bible, and there's some chain of command supposed to deliver the children all of the correct vernacular, where to stand, what to look like, what to call people. Yeah, something happened. I mean, I don't want to get in trouble with the land citation people, but the whatever boating expects, I don't know where in between the whatever, but the message never really got through to the land folks. Some did, don't get me wrong, but there are some pertinent information. I mean, I was a member of the New York State education and school system in multiple counties, and some that claimed to be Catholic, but it was secular vocation. I will tell you, I was in it. Perhaps the teachers changed, but the lack of information was congruent and consistent the entire education and the entire time I was in the elementary school.
In a year like right now, after January 6th, we should be celebrating good presidents and historical presidents and the fathers of our country.
Yeah, but
Hopefully there's a lot of
Yeah.
controversy around the founding fathers because most of them owned slaves.
Yeah.
And people are
Whoa, those are trigonomic words that, whew, the humans have not gotten that conversation right, not once. I assure you.
very, very mixed about that.
You know, you have to have a high degree of self-confidence, apparently, to become the leader of the free world. And the Pew Research Center ranked the most narcissistic presidents to ever hold the office. Topping the list was LBJ, and rounding out the top 5 were Teddy Roosevelt, Andrew Jackson, FDR, and JFK. But the list was completed or compiled before you know who took office and Joe Biden took office. But I kind of feel like in order to say, yes, I can run the nation, you have to have a rather meaty ego.
A healthy
Also,
one.
to even want that office.
Yeah.
Like, to even aspire to that with all that is involved, you have to be a bit power hungry, egotistical. I think narcissism might be a prerequisite. I could see FTR feeling a little cocky, though. That guy, you know,
He was
4
great.
terms.
He was great.
He did a lot.
I don't know where they get personality profiles on presidents. I don't. I'm at a loss. I'm like, what I was prepared with in my psychosomatic coma is within my 43rd year of being a member of New York, I got this. There's no personality profiles of past or current presidents in this level of communication. So when the teleportation thing goes off with these people speaking about these things, I'm like, that's all I got. Well, and that's all I'm working off of. How do they have personality profiles on these names and on these people and all stuff? Where do they get that? I mean, I know they're in showbiz, they're in TV, got it. Okay, so what do the rest of us do? Because it gets really confusing trying to follow along. Now, this is interesting. I mean, I had to show my foot for reasons of electricity coursing through my veins and my nervous system erratically, which is a theme that I'm having a problem with. I heard yesterday, I found out that there's a methane gas problem. I don't know how that's I don't know how that is integrated with my integer and interstitial fluid absorbing some form of unconditioned electricity. And then there was another piece on 60 Minutes last night verifying for me they call what I suffered from in 2016 stricken, or a form of it in Washington. I've heard other people refer to it as Havana syndrome. I'm not quite sure what my low-level attacks are called, but I know that I've been a target several times of these confirmed and corroborated other people who have been targeted. I've been now watching the TV. I saw on a Green Bay Packer roast beef ball jersey, there was a player that's adorned himself in a 1-2, which is the 12. He put his foot up. I don't know what that represents in the big wide world of important people, because I don't play roast beef ball or football. I'm not in an NFL league. I'm not in NBA. I'm not in NHL, MLS. I was in MLS, but not the soccer league. I was in a real estate portion, so that gets really confusing. Personally, I'm not showing up to these things. I'm not invited to anything. So I did go to a pink tie event once for ink. If you put a personalized P in front of it, I was thinking this morning, I'm like, I wonder if, because there was some sports people who came out. It's just like the radio event. They're on TV. I just don't, between college and then major leagues, So, I didn't know how to, I wouldn't know what to say anyway. What do you say to a, major star? I don't know. Anyway, so they put their feet up on the table. They have this foot ratings. I'm thinking, I'm like, oh my God, there's some guy in the FBI department's like, oh, this is just like pedophiles and foot fetish, and oh my God, this is gonna be so... again, do you have to have a certain personality to work in that department? Because for me, I'm like, no, whatever.
Hey,
And again, that goes back to this, like, I don't know how I got into this pervotic, Pervotic. It's like a votive, Votive. It's like a votive candle that was lit in the wrong whatever. And then somebody just kept carrying that one candle votive in the wrong motion. And now it's become like this pervotic scenario of raccoons ruffling through a garden or of garbage. And it's just, oh, come on. I don't want to live this way.
And you're headed to someone's house, many people request that you remove your shoes before entering. But a woman wrote an op-ed about why she's keeping her shoes on. And that science proves that house floors are dirtier than average shoes, and that if she's in her socks, she could stub her toe or step on a kid's toy. Stay home, okay? Because you can't tell people what you will and will not do when they've invited you to their home. You can say you don't want to come, but you can't talk to people like that, or can you?
Well, and not everybody has gorgeous feet like I have.
Zoom in, zoom in.
I've gone to show other people's homes, and I've gotten there, and they asked for me to take my shoes off, and I'm just like, really? Oh, I had socks on. Socks had holes in them. I was like, really? I was like,
You do have gorgeous feet.
She has the
You're
best
worried
feet
about
I've
me
known.
hitting you and you just stuck your foot right up in here.
Yes, but it wasn't right in your face. It's very
No, it was
different.
right next to my phone.
I thought you were gonna break. I mean, did you see how hard that thing hit?
Yes.
This is glass, girl.
My father is always very
You're missing
impressed.
the point of how gorgeous
My
my
father's
feet are.
very impressed every time, Joy, that you put
I
your
know.
foot
You do
on
have
the
beautiful.
table.
If he ever saw my feet, he would your mother.
He would.
now watch, they're going on in Coffee Clutch or like some kind of conversation of like whatever. And then all of a sudden, one she's breaking news into the conversation about ratings.
I just want to put this out there. There is a place on the internet called
WikiFeet.
WikiFeet.
And my feet are there.
And Joy's feet are on WikiFeet.
She's kind of a big deal.
Wait though, they rate you. They rate your feet. I don't know. So we get
She's
Joy's
very
rating.
high.
So you ask people not to wear shoes in your house.
I guess this is the pampered bunch. This is what they do. I mean, nobody's ever said, you know what? You really need a handout or hand up. Let me pamper you. Yeah, it never happened for me, but I guess this is what the pampered crew does.
So here's the question I have though. Do you tell people before they come? Because if I'm coming to your house, I want to have socks on. If you're going to tell me to
or
take
do you
my
give
shoes
people?
off.
Because Sarah's one of the people that doesn't like
I'm an
people with shoes.
old-shoes person.
Do you give people slippers?
I think I probably should. I've never done it because there's so many sizes and stuff, but we don't have people over a lot because we can't socialize a lot. We have little kids. So I feel like the people that come over...
You don't want anybody in your house anyway.
Wait, I have breaking news. Joy has 4.
See? Like as if it's a national security emergency. Guess who's delivering the news of the ratings?
4 out of 5 stars
I
on
told
WikiFeet.
you, she's high up.
It's very
evil.
high.
That's
I
only
told
very
a
high.
B, though.
It's better than yours.
No, it isn't.
Wait.
I don't think it is. Can we have them check that?
Everybody's WikiFeet score. I want to hear everybody's WikiFeet score.
there.
Mine are 11.
There, somewhere in the world, they actually have fact checkers. I'm just curious because I haven't gotten to that level of importance anywhere in the world yet.
Sarah's on WikiFeet too?
Oh.
All right, put your foot up here.
I'm sorry,
Put your foot
Can you
up.
get your leg up there?
Where's your foot?
Oh, no.
Oh, come on. Can I tell you something?
no.
I don't want to see anybody's toe is bigger than your first
I know
toe.
they're flat.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry.
That was a misprint.
Okay,
Guys, it's a pull. We have to believe it. It was a pull.
That's why I know. With her
We have additional breaking news.
Yes, I'm a 12.
Does that go with, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole? I'm just curious. Big 10.
I'm 4 3/4.
Oh my
I
goodness.
have also beat Joy in.
I can't believe this.
And I'm 4.5, so basically,
I'm not, you haven't seen mine, but
I just heard I'm 4.5, so basically we all there. All right.
But we shouldn't have.
I don't think it's true because I've seen your feet and they look piggy toes. Honestly, you haven't seen my feet, number one.
I have pretty feet.
Because
also.
I've seen the little piggies. I do not show my eyes.
It hurts my head to listen to humans cackle and dishonor one another. I mean, it is just, it's really a daunting task. In modern world terms.
I have
To everyone. What is it?
My feet are pretty.
The thing,
Your feet are nice, but your second toe is longer than your
It
first.
means I'm smart.
no, means you're athletic.
This is so disgusting.
Athletic and
Can we
smart.
please
Oh.
stop putting people's feet on the table?
well, you guys asked for the.
I am so disinterested and I am so bored with the conversation already. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken. Speyside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. I'd like to go back to the really funny commercial with the two Wild Wild West guys holding up signs because the person on the couch couldn't hear. That was funny. That was divine comedy, like tasteful. And then the Cheerio that was turned into a heart. That was impressive. These are some things that have to be discussed in certain whatever. But it feels like we're just like straightening out anchor lines for boating. So this way citation, whatever, gets their thinking caps on straight. It's a possibility.